But I was trying to look for notes from the last time we talked. I know that we had. I thought I
Dude,
took notes like on the topics that we were going to talk about.
too. I had it and I sat down and I was like, well, who knows where that is? I
Yeah,
have
but I always have the same like things that I write
same
on. That's
notebook.
why I'm like,
Yeah,
what the?
yeah, I know. I was literally sitting here the same thing. But I'll tell
Top
you,
10
I do have something to bring up if we can talk.
We could just
In the
pick it up. Yeah,
meantime,
let's yeah, either
think,
bring that up or let's pick topics.
or yeah, well, the only topic I had was mine was order. So I don't know if you have a chaos
Order.
topic.
Oh, okay, okay. So your topic wasn't order, but it was order related, or is it order?
It should be spoken about on the order side of the show, right?
Okay,
To
cool.
slanting towards the order side of
What you got?
order and chaos. I don't know. I have to formulate it. It's there, but it's on that side of it. So
Okay, cool. So that's you're just kind of saying generally it's over there.
yeah,
All right, cool.
we'll
So then
come
I'm
back.
doing chaos then.
Well, I don't know. Did you have anything in mind? Because I'm just throwing mine out there.
Yeah, no, I can always do something. I got tons of topics, and I was even gonna wanted to talk about No Booze 30 too, because I'm still doing that strong.
I was going to
I'm
ask about that.
yeah, I'm still doing some of the stuff that you kind of lay out in the No Booze 30. So so mine is maybe like chaos to order, maybe something like that, like a transitionary thing.
Yeah, I like that. There's a
Yeah,
lot of that going on right now. Oh, you know what? I was actually going to
I'm
ask
writing
you
down
for a
shit.
little. I was going to ask you for a little help here,
What you got?
like always.
What you
Um,
need?
so I talked to Mark Waz, my buddy Mark Waz, who you may or may have not met over the years. I played BGRA baseball with him, and then we just became really good buddies. Me, him, and Maraz. Actually, you probably met him maybe through Maraz. Who knows?
For sure. Yeah, it
And
sounds familiar.
solid dude. And he was talking about being consistent. And so he's like, "What are the top 10 things you can do first of all, that would define like what consistency looks like to you. If you did those 10 things every day, that's the consistency. What does that look like to you? And what are those 10 things? Write those down and essentially knock that out. And if you have that knocked out every single day and you're good, like pretty much right with the world, the rest is like whatever. You
Yeah,
know
it
what I
just takes
mean?
care of itself. I was just writing stuff down as you were talking because that's
Yeah,
good
you're
shit.
good. And so I've been thinking about that. And it was kind of like the 12 rules that you laid out the other day.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but the way when he said it to be things that what you think consistency is, it changed my whole mind on it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying
Made
to
it
flesh
more
that shit
simple.
out.
Well,
Yeah,
let's just start
probably.
there. Let's just start there. Let's just start there. Let's just go. Because we spend too much time always kind of beating around the bush, and that's the bush right there. So let's just jump in.
Get it? Well, I don't know. I mean, I always come back to the same things like reading, like running. You know,
Yes.
uh,
So more simple though, not as like crazy where you have to, kind of interpret, like the rules almost had like an interpretive thing going on to it. And you could apply it maybe in a couple different avenues, but you're talking like more specific stuff. And I like that, like top 10 more specific things, like get up early,
yeah,
work out, like you said, eat right. That's what consistency looks like. Be at work on time and leave on time,
yeah.
do all your chores before 9 o'clock.
What is it?
Like
Is that
just,
a real thing?
you know what I'm saying?
Is that a thing, or is there like a chore thing that says if you do them before a certain hour in the morning, your success rate goes up or something?
I don't know. I'm trying to give you a deadline so you're not like doing them at 1 in the morning.
Yeah, well, that shit happens like last time.
Well, maybe instead of saying by the deadline, just say, stick to a routine. Well, that's kind of what you're doing. You're
Yeah,
pointing out what the routine is.
man, I'm telling you, it's like when I break it down to its core, like my weakest part is that it's organization to the plan. I can jump into a plan, but trying to stay organized along the way is a really rough spot. You know,
Yeah, it's
I've
tough
looked at
for
little
sure.
programs online and stuff like that, but it just I don't know.
Yeah, I got it right here. So like
And those who
sleep,
can't do
workout.
teach.
Yeah,
And those
that's
who
true.
can't
I
teach
always hear that.
teach too.
And that's the truth too, man. That's why I think you got to be a doer before you can teach.
Yeah.
Those are the best teachers, actually. What were some of the other ones we just said off the top of our heads for
Talking like
consistency?
Yeah. So, I mean, what does consistently look like to me? To me, it's moving every day,
Yep.
and to me, it's like eating right.
Yeah. Eat.
Sleep.
Yep. Sleep. Got it.
I mean,
What
you
were
have
some
to
of the other ones
read.
we were just
You have
saying?
to read, right? You have to read.
Yeah.
But do you
Could we make
ever
that even more general?
what do you mean?
Like even just say learn?
Learn? Yeah, but that's so vague. It's like, well, you learn something
Yeah.
new every day, don't you? And you're like,
Learn
okay,
slash. Yeah, that's
I
true.
probably did, and I probably forgot it already.
You could probably snore on that one for sure. But there was some other good ones that we were just saying right off the jump. Why can't I think of them?
I don't know, because when we would think of
Oh,
them, I
get
would
up early.
think of
Get up
them. Yeah,
early.
the early thing, man. You know, it's.
Tough for me.
I was thinking about that today. I was thinking, like, dude, well, what if you just spent? What if tonight, from 8 to 10? This is interesting. The side hustle takes a lot of time because you're building stuff, right? And you have to
Hmm.
build marketing pieces and ad pieces, and then you're trying to bootstrap all this together, and you have a couple things going on. That's what's happening right now.
Yep.
And
Probably more than one iron in the fire for sure. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. And I love it, and it's a lot of fun. I actually really enjoy it. Stuff with Jenny and I this weekend, we're working on it together. We were
Yep.
having a great time, and like the design stuff, I really like. And I'm not going into Illustrator and getting deep with it, but I'm using programs,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fun. And
Tools. They're all tools.
yeah, they're all tools. So, but what about what about if your workday, that really my true work at work, unless I'm responding to, emails, does
Hmm.
not take me that long. There's not, I
No.
mean, I could always do it though. And so if I was working from like 8 to 10 at night, I wonder how much time during the day that would free up, right? To
You're talking
do,
about work.
yeah.
Yeah, work from eight at night to 10 at night, just to try to knock out some emails and do some stuff that you can do, without people directly responding. You mean or like busy work too, like some of that type of stuff?
Yeah. And I don't have a lot of busy work, but I guess what it could be is, yeah, like recruiting. If I was recruiting for a couple hours every day, it would
Yeah,
free up my day to not have to recruit as hard, and I would be able to work on that stuff. Now, some people say, is that stealing
I was
time?
gonna say, well, is your company cool with that? Is someone gonna get your complaint if they see you messing around with like a passion project at work?
Yeah,
Because people are salty like that, man.
yeah, dude, you're right, man.
For me, it's easy because I work from home. So if I wanted to, like, at break time or lunchtime or whatever here, I can go, practice piano, or I can,
Yeah,
you know, um,
practice my
I
two
don't know.
step. It's like,
Yeah,
what's he doing in
exactly.
there again? Yeah,
Start spinning records. Yeah, I can, practice my cooking skills. I can do a whole bunch of stuff. I could develop film. It's pretty cool.
shut the
It
door,
is.
man.
It's a blessing.
It's
It's
two
it's a
o'clock.
blessing.
Well, no, you're right. You're right. But I was thinking
Nice
about
shirt.
that idea. Thanks. You like that?
I should have wore. What's so funny about that is I told you I just got back from the gym, right? So right when I was leaving the gym and I got into the truck, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go back and set up and get ready to talk to Joel. And I was like, what? I should have worn the Crush Life shirt to the gym tonight, man. That would have been dope. And then boom, you're sporting the frickin' beautiful May shirt, and I'm just like, man, I knew I should have
Yeah.
wore that thing.
Dude, Payne can knock out a maze like it's amazing.
Yes, a
Gotta tell you.
labyrinth.
Yeah, he's good with it, man. It's fun.
I love how you still sport that necklace too. That's
Oh,
super badass because
so
everybody
this,
mentioned that all the time when you were starting to do your podcast.
I know I got to get a new one because my original one, the one I wore every day,
Oh,
broke.
that's okay. That one
So
broke. Okay.
this is like wooden beads that Jenny's had for the longest time. And then the other day she's like, "Hey, why don't you wear these?" And I put them on. I was like, "Fuck yeah,
Yeah,
why
nice.
not?"
What kind of beads are they? Juniper, like ghost beads?
I don't know, man. They're probably pine nuts. I don't know what they are.
Yeah, because they is it Indian?
No, it's probably like Forever 21 or something.
It's not Native American.
Oh,
You live in the Native American homeland over there. You could get some really cool Native American
yeah, the
stuff.
shit's just seeping out of the rocks. It's not a big deal over here. It's like turquoise is
Yeah,
like knocking everybody over.
yeah,
I'll tell
yeah.
you,
You just hit it in the streets.
I like you can get it in the streets. I like it though, the silver with turquoise and stuff. Like I'm a fan for sure.
Yeah, that's the Indian thing, man. I love their little shops and stuff that they have set up at all like the national parks and everything. I love that
Yeah,
shit.
dude, that's what you need to explore. So going up to the Grand Canyon, I was telling you probably, but we
Yeah,
stopped.
they're set up in that little store.
They got a little cove up there. Oh yeah, they got legit. I
Yeah,
had a really nice belt buckle when I lived in Nashville. I
nice.
bought this really nice one, and I swear, I hope I find it because it was fucking awesome. I used to wear buckles all the time, but like, I don't know, it was cool.
Yeah, those are dope. The guy I work with has some crazy belt buckles that are like this big.
Oh geez, I bet.
He's from Oklahoma.
Awesome. I hope so.
He used to work on like oil rigs and stuff. He's a total like, Southern Oklahoma, belt buckle.
Dude,
It's like a chest plate, dude. It's huge.
there's been for the last like few years, there's been oil, big time oil going on in like Texas, right? Like West Texas.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a huge
Or
new
like,
oil boom everywhere. And oil and gas.
that's
That's why the
crazy.
price of it's so low. That's why the stocks kind of suck because the price of oil is so low that they're not making the money that they used to when it was like hundreds of dollars a barrel.
Yeah, when they were
So I've been
partying
taking a look
balls
at it.
off every day.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll rebound and come back eventually, or maybe they'll transition into electric because Tesla is killing it.
That's crazy. I saw
Yeah,
that the other
dude.
day. I was like, whoa, what?
Yeah, yeah. I've made just under 10 G's in about 6 weeks on Tesla alone.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I only bought 40 shares.
Yeah, good for you.
hmm
That's nuts.
I was gonna buy it before that, or before their first bump, but I
Yeah,
was afraid because they had an earnings call, and then sure as shit, right after the earnings call, they bumped from like 250 to 300,
yeah.
and that's when I bought, and now they're at like 510,
Wow, awesome. How long ago was that?
like 6 weeks ago,
Damn, that's when
probably
that
seven now.
kid's on it. Bam.
Yeah, dude, the stock market, man, making your money work for you is so key.
Yeah. So do you do stuff like that? I mean, that's like a kind of a, I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know. Did
I
you
love
already
that
have
shit.
stock with them before that?
No, I bought it in October just on
Yeah.
a whim because I had about 16 grand liquid that it just sits there for, drops or, hunches like that. So I
Oh,
just
okay.
pretty much put about, I don't know, 14, 15 G's, almost all of it right into Tesla at 300, doubled my money pretty much, like maybe 40%. And
Nice.
no, 62%. That's what it was. And and uh, and then I just let it ride. I'll just let it stay in there for a while. I don't need to touch it. And then I have all the rest of my stocks have dividends that they pay me every quarter, and then I
Yeah.
it just automatically repurchase shares with my dividends.
Yeah.
So I just get more shares, and they just compile. Boom, 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 boom. Next thing you know, you have hundreds and
Awesome.
hundreds of shares.
Dude, how do you, damn it, I forgot about it. Oh, wouldn't you pull some of that back though
Yeah, you could trim. hmm
on
Yeah,
the Tesla, or do you
yeah.
just let it
What you
ride for a minute?
Well, for right now, it's hot, so I'll let it ride. But what you want to do is like, let's say you have $15,000 that you invest in five companies. That's true diversification, right? So it has to be the same amount of money in
Yeah,
five different sectors, right? Five different companies, five different
yeah,
sectors, same amount of money.
yeah.
One of those or two of those stocks go up to like 25,000. It's not a bad idea to trim down to like your average cost basis across, or your average profit, or your average cost of stock across the five,
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
you're always at the same kind of level. You don't
Sure.
want two of them way too high because then if they take a nosedive,
Yes.
you're going to have some really bad days. Yeah. But if you
Interesting.
trim, if you
And then
trim and then they have a bad day, then you rebuy when it's lower and then you climb it back up.
so that's what you wait, a little bit here with Tesla and see if it like corrects a little bit, and then when so, take half back
No, I
and
think
wait
that I'm
to
a
buy.
chart guy, so I watch
Yeah.
charts too. So if
Okay.
I see chart patterns develop and Tesla breaks through on the bottom end, yeah, I'll move it right away. And then they'll probably, continue down a little bit. But then if I see them break out to the upside again, once that chart signal hits, it's It's a reactive, not a proactive. So you'll miss a little bit of the move to the
Yeah.
upside, but it's okay because it's the safe play, you know. But you're still going to get a ton of move up as long as the chart, makes sense. You can't
Interesting.
go
How long
wrong.
ago did you start reading that stuff?
Long time ago. Had to be
Really?
like maybe 20 years.
Really?
Hmm.
That's interesting. Did you ever do like day trading, like futures, S&P future, or whatever? Like
No,
day
like
trading?
true day trading is crazy. I did look into it, but they're moving stuff at like insane volume, and they're taking like pennies and
Yeah,
multiplying it by the millions,
yeah.
and then it got out of control because there was high frequency traders that were using algorithms and computers and all that kind of crazy shit. They took the day traders out. Now it's all high frequency.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Hmm.
day traders are kind of disappearing.
I
You don't
heard,
hear
and
about
then
that too much.
they were talking about like, and didn't you just say that about the getting as close as you could to the data centers?
Yeah,
Like,
and if you can't do that, what they were building is they were building their own high-speed network with a fiber backbone, like microwave hops, all the way to the stock exchange in New York City,
it's
and
fucking
they would have
amazing. It's
instant.
amazing.
They would have their own private connection all the way to the New York Stock Exchange that would happen in like a millionth of a second, and they could trade faster than everybody else.
So that's where like 5G was originated, probably because they needed to go
Well,
faster. They're
well,
like,
this
we
is
need to
different.
win, right?
This is different. This is point-to-point microwave, so it's
Yeah.
like super specific. It doesn't blanket. It goes from this dish to this dish, and it
Yeah.
has to be an exact beam. Like the beam width is like 8 inches or something. You have to do a line of sight to the other tower, and they have to see each other to work. So you have to have a ton of them
But
all
if
the
you,
way to New York City.
damn,
Yeah, turn the corner of the Great
that's the
Lakes, and
best
then you
way to
go.
do it.
That's the fastest,
It's the
because any
fastest.
other landline, any other connection that you can get through, like Comcast or like you said 5G or anything like that, is way slower, way way
Really?
way slower. Yeah,
Wow.
they'll
Wow.
spend millions. They'll spend millions just building that because they'll make that back in one day.
Fuck. That's crazy.
Yeah, high frequency trading.
Wow,
I've
man.
built tons of their networks.
Really? That
Hmm.
makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah, they're called non-traditional carriers.
To who else are some badass non-traditional carriers?
Um,
Like secret
well,
shit.
for the cell or the telecom game, it's pretty much all out there because they're government regulated and everything. There's not any real secret shit. They're super
Is
risk
there,
adverse.
but is there money in like leasing it somehow? You
Yeah,
know?
that's what Crown Castle does. That's what the wife does. She works at. That's what I do too. But I build them before we lease them up. We're like landlords. So
Yeah.
they hire. Well, they hired me to build all the buildings, and then there's other people in my company that will rent all the units out. But I control the building part of all the units and the whole building and everything.
Wow.
That's what
And
I do for a living.
I knew some of that, but that took it to another level. Hold on, I need some water. Pardon
Yeah.
me. Juice. I got cold feet.
Cold feet, dude. Don't even give me cold anything right now.
I got cold
It's like
feet.
it's seriously like -9 here.
I'm wearing shorts and a freaking thing.
It's
Oh,
funny. My beard would freeze when I'd come out of the gym after I'd hit the hot tub in the steam room and
oh
everything,
yeah.
and I'd walk outside. My beard would flash freeze. Is that the boy?
Said, hey, boy.
The dog. The dog's outside, and sometimes I get nervous because there's coyotes everywhere picking off dogs.
Oh, you guys have snow too?
Yeah, it snowed crazy style, and then it flash froze. It was like kind of rainy, sloppy, then snowed, then flash froze, and now it looks like freaking Hoth out there.
Okay. All right, here we go. So, dude,
What'd you get?
yes.
What you busting out?
Oh, I don't know. Just some little magazine I had laying around. I want to read tonight. It's Time.
Nice.
Science. Time magazine. The Science of
The
Stress.
Science of Stress. Manage
Yeah.
it. Avoid it.
Yeah. So, dude, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I saw something on LinkedIn today, and the guy was, and I know we hear this stuff, but this is the thing I want to test. And it's like he said, tiny habits. And I know it, whatever. Same thing, same premise, same principle. but how can I break it down even smaller so that it's like small, consistent progress? And
Yep,
that
yep.
comes, I think it boils itself all the way down then to completely structured, regimented day, right? Isn't that what
Yeah, yeah.
Jocko kind of talks about?
Yes, and David Goggins and everybody, yeah, they say that through that structure, that's how you actually get freedom.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be very difficult.
Well, it's one of those things where you have to have personal accountability, personal discipline. You have to put something in place, like almost physically write it down, like you said. You have to practice it and refine it. It's not going to
Yeah.
be perfect from the jump.
Okay.
You're
So,
going to have to struggle with it and then recover, like where you fall off the train, or you have to do something like you have to travel for work or you have to travel for something and you can't have your normal routine. You're going to have to find a way to either do the normal routine somehow or get right back in it when you get back. There's going to be a whole bunch of shit that you'll have to still deal with. But yeah, that's what they always say. All those guys use that discipline for freedom.
okay. That being said, no booze 30, right?
Hmm.
Is an interesting thing. It's what I would like it to be is something along those lines, right? But I had the realization today that there's, besides not drinking, there's no. I tried to put some things to do, some exercises,
Oh,
but I
no,
don't.
it's great. I
Yeah,
love it.
but there maybe it should be a focus on one thing. So yes, you're not drinking, but then you are going to add this habit, one
Yes.
habit. And there could be all these other fun little things maybe, but I don't want to overwhelm it. I want it to be, because everybody's kind of like running through it like, hey, it's day 16, day 17, and they're sharing their stories and everything. But I think
Hmm.
if we were all able to talk to the one main theme, besides not drinking, like and then you claim it in the beginning. You say, why are you doing this? Those are the first couple of days. And it's like, what is it? So what is the thing that you want to change? Is it, you're going to walk 20 minutes and you're going to go every single day, or you're
You
going to
kind of
read
go through
20
that with no
pages?
booze
There
in the
is,
little exercises and stuff.
there are, but it's just tastes. And I think if it was like one thing, and you said, I'm going to start writing a book, and
Yep.
I'm going to commit to 200 words a day or something,
Hmm.
like that thing. And I
Or
start that with the
200.
progress goal, but it's kind of like intermingled. What if it was just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's my question to you, is what if there was like something small? You say, hey, this is a small thing that you're not doing now, that you just, it's dying, it's killing you, that you need to add this in your life, and somehow you don't want to go overboard like we all do, but you want to get it to be consistent.
Like
Do you think,
replace booze with this.
yeah, and then replace the time that you'll have back? We talk
The
about getting time
money.
back.
Yeah,
I
the
think, was
money.
that today
Replace
or
the
tomorrow?
money. You can replace the time. You can replace the energy. You could replace, all of that with this healthy thing.
Yeah. And so then it gives them the like one thing. I don't introduce that till like day, I don't know when the first
I
P
could
goal
look.
comes in,
I got it right
like
here.
day 5 or 7, 8.
Sugar is day 5. Day
So
6.
it's not a bad idea. I guess it's there. But
I'm
what
on
if it
day
was like,
20, which is the P goal check-in.
what do you think? Is it cool to have more variety like that to it? Or is it just kind of all over the place?
No, I think it's not all over the place. I think it's pretty much cohesive, and it does follow a lot of the stuff that you're saying. But one thing that I noticed that we should go through too is I don't know if you meant to do this, but like day 19 and day 20 are exactly the same.
Yeah, well, that was not supposed to be that.
But I mean, like I found a couple of other things like that. But as you just tighten this up, I
Yeah.
mean, like I'm telling you, I'm doing it. Every single word, every single exercise, every single thing. I write it all down. I do it to the nose or to the T. I'm all about it just so that I can give you the best feedback possible. But if you just tighten some of this up, there's some spelling stuff. It gets a little crazy. Like in the second week, or no, I think it's the third week. I
Yep.
can even highlight some of the stuff and just give it to you.
That's cool,
But
man.
yeah, just like we clean it up, you tighten it up. I'll give you my feedback. You take that and do what you need to do. Um, you can even maybe take some stuff out and put some new things in that will keep it on that track or on that path a little bit more, like you said. But for the most part,
Yeah.
dude, the skeleton and then some is already there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, dude. A lot of this stuff, that stuff, majority of it was written before I was really deep into Jordan Peterson. And, you know, some
Okay.
of it was on the tail end for sure. But now, yeah, I would like a little bit order. It was really try to be based off Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and then
Nice. I
trying
love
to
it.
go the rotation of that. Like every day addressed one of those, and I tried to then take it up a notch each time. And then I was like,
Yeah.
okay, like you get your basics out of the way. And but I think what I finding when people go through it, as much as I want that to be the process, because it would be cool, it does not really the complete process that people were going through, that they were experiencing. I think that sugar craving comes in sooner than later. And I think
Yep.
like sleep has been a problem.
Sure. You could reorder some stuff. Yeah. I
So
think that'd be a good
not a
idea.
problem, but yeah. So anyway, no, I appreciate it. And you know, you said you wanted to talk no booze, and I was just like, well, I'd love to know what you think.
No, I seriously do love it. Like I said, I'm going to keep doing it. And you know what's really crazy about it is the time has flown. Like, out of nowhere, I was just like, holy shit, today's day 20. I was like,
Yeah.
that means that there's like 11 days left or something. Like there's 31 in June or January, right?
Yep, you're right.
Or 30. Yeah, I don't remember. But I'm like, oh my God, there's less than 2 weeks left. There's only like 10, 11 days left. That's nothing. That's crazy. You know, the time went super fast.
Yeah.
And all the exercises were super cool. And a lot of the stuff I had already kind of done. Even it seemed like it was like reading my mind in a sense. And I would read the today's challenger saying an exercise.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, me and Rach just set something up to do like a date night or
Yeah.
to do something new, like you were
Nice.
saying. But
Yeah.
there
You
was
guys
just a
are
bunch of
good.
those. That one stood
Oh,
out.
you guys are good like that. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, dude, I appreciate it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
And it
Just,
works. And it works. And it's way better than I thought. Like I thought it was going to be way more basic, way
yeah,
more just like, hey, we're here if you need us type of deal.
yeah,
And maybe some quotes from some famous people or something. I
yeah,
didn't
go
think it
do
was
it.
going to be like this, dude. So it's
Nice.
way better than I thought.
Hey, well, that's nice.
Yeah.
You know, what the hell?
Not to sell
I
you
think,
short, but I'm just telling you, it's
yeah,
way
yeah,
better than I thought. I knew it was going to be cool, and I was
yeah,
in no matter what.
yeah,
But
of
I'm just
course.
saying, like, this blew my mind. I was like, dude, no, this is badass.
It's awesome. Here's a question. Thank you.
Yeah.
So going through it, um, yeah, I don't know. You didn't really have a challenge drinking. I mean, some of these people were talking about like the challenges they were having. Like you were like, you made it up in your mind that you weren't doing it, right? You're like,
Right.
I'm not going to drink for 30 days. You already had it locked down. Some people, there's starting to be people that are breaking and are cheating, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
and they're calling themselves out. And, you know, Aaron and I were talking about that, and we're like, well, what do we do here? You know, do we have to say like, hey, like, because everybody's like, don't worry about it, get back on the horse, or should we, you know, be stern with it, or is it, you know, or do
Yeah.
you,
I think it should be like a SEAL thing where you're ringing the bell. If you mess up, I say you boot them and say, try again next month. You know, let's start over next month and we'll go for it again in next month or something like that. Or maybe you get there. Maybe the first couple
precedent?
times
Yeah,
you don't. You just get feedback. You see how it goes. You don't really do anything crazy this first time or this second time after
yeah,
revamp everything. Then once you get down to like that the third time you run this thing, you say there's new rules in place. It's like just like the SEALs, just like the
yeah,
buds. If you can't make it, you can't make it, and that's okay. But we're going to boot you, and then you got to restart the next month, and we're going to be here for you again next month, but we need you to stay 30 days straight. That's the whole point.
yeah.
And then that's when
Well,
you start offering some sort of reward. That's when you start offering some sort of medal or something, like you were saying before. I
yeah,
like
dude,
these
you're
are
right.
just ideas.
I kind of like it though, because then the accountability is real, and now you're
Gotta
accountable to
have
the
it.
group, and the group
Yes.
has good accountability. I'm so proud of them because
Hmm.
they're just like, everybody's trying to help, you know, and you're trying to get in there as much as you can, and you're trying to support people, so you check in and see who's posting what, and people are posting some real shit, you know.
That's good. That's what it's
So
for.
what we were talking about then is, do we give, and your answer is going to be no, I'm taking it like a cheat day. Do you say, you know what, day 16 or day, I think 10 is a good one. That's when a lot of people were breaking. So send an email
Really?
to 10 and be like, you know what, here's your cheat day. You can cheat right now. Not a big deal. We'll give you a day off. But if you're not going to drink today, this is the only day you can. But if you're not, then you need to commit right now and say, come on, like lock it up. I'm going to lock it up and post your picture in here. Because what do? Do you give them the option or do you not go there? I mean, it being a little interactive like that is interesting, but it's also tempting somebody to like, oh, I can. Now they have to make the decision for themselves because we just said they could, and they can't blame it on us.
I think they have to make that decision before the month starts.
Yeah.
I think if you give them too much leeway, it's almost like that, bad mom syndrome where your mom constantly gives you breaks or protects you or, umbrella, syndrome
So how
or
do you
whatever
do
it's
this the
called.
right way? How do you parent it the right way then? It's just
Right.
all or nothing. It's got to be black or white this time, right?
Just for 30 dadays. You're not saying this is forever. You're saying just for 30 days. You got to be clear because everybody's going to blow it up in their minds if like you said, if they're falling off the wagon or something. You're like, it's only 30 days, dude. It's not a big deal. We're just talking 30 days here. This isn't the rest of your life.
You just did a pure Jedi mind trick. You're like, it's only 30 days, dude. It's not a big deal. And the guy's like, yeah, it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
It's like, it's not a big deal.
30 days.
I can do 30 days.
That's all.
That's all it is.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're like, if you fall off the horse, baby, you fall off the horse, man. It's okay.
So then you say, Jerry, Bill, they have to do something. They have to just leave the group, huh?
You tell them, well, maybe you have a separate group. Maybe you make a separate group at that point where it's like, these are the guys that are on the bench, for the next round or something. Say, hey, binge drink while you can, baby, because we're starting over in like 10 days.
Yeah. Or you have to post hashtag #1 every time you restart. So people know, Jerry restarted again.
Get a teardrop tattoo right here.
Couldn't do it.
He looked like he's sobbing.
Yeah, he is too.
I'm telling you, man. You gotta. It is what it is. It's like what are those? It's like a halfway house, or what are those places called where you go and if you get caught drinking or something, they boot your ass.
That's what it is. They got 3/4 house too.
Something like that.
Something
like that.
Well, I like that. And Aaron's, I feel like, comes from that. He wants to be like, well, I'll just tell him, listen, pussy. Lock it up. And we both kind of want to say that too. And maybe we should, I think it's.
But they have to choose that before the 30 days starts. That's my point is you already made that choice. If you're going back on it now, I get it. That's fine. But it doesn't count for you. You can continue to stay sober now and through the end of the month, and I'll applaud that all day. But you didn't do the 30, bro. You're not a SEAL.
Yeah. So, dude, I got you because this is going to get intense, man. I'm going to make this thing a badge of honor. Then just make it a badge of honor and have it trackable. The only thing is, how do you know if someone lies? You just have to go on their honor.
They have. Hey, if you want to be a scumbag and lie about it, that's on you, bro.
Yeah.
The accountability factor. If you want some empty, award and recognition for something that you didn't do, you're sadistic.
And we will hunt you down.
And I will burn you at the stake.
I will bear you down.
Salem witch trials.
I know. So, okay, I asked Jenny this question the other day. Can you pay somebody, can you give them the reward beforehand? Right? This is a classic for the kid, right? Give me the cookie, whatever. So it's like, if you said, Joel, you know what? I need this whole block wall back here painted. Why don't we go down to the PGA Superstore? I'll buy you a set of clubs. Go golfing, go golfing this weekend. And then on Monday, come over and we'll start the wall.
And that's your payment.
What do you think? Yeah, and you can start working. So now you're going to work really fast because you want to free your time up. You've already been paid. Now you have to show up and do good work. And if the reward was fair enough, you might get the most out of it because they've already been paid. And now the faster they're done, though, the next job they can take, and you've already paid them.
What about
But
pay points? Because we use that a lot in our industry where you have certain milestones that you hit and you get paid on milestone.
yeah,
So you're giving them a carrot, every once in a while rather than the end. And you could have the pay points gradual. You can have them, equal across the board, and maybe do a 50% at the end and do like 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 or something like that.
yeah.
Or 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 to begin with, and then 50% upon completion, something like that. I like your idea though, for sure. It's just a little bit more, like you said, if you win a bunch of small, well, I said this in the podcast the other day too. If you win a bunch of small battles, you'll end up winning the war. So you have to win those small battles in order to, in those tiny habits, like you said, and that consistency, and
Right.
those small wins will add up, bruh. So you get those small wins, the 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and then by the time you get that last 10, you're knocking on the door for the other half.
I see where we're at. Fair enough.
So there's a big reward at the end still, smaller carrots that lead you to it. You
Let me
kind of
ask
get
you.
what you like.
Let me ask you one more thing. I'm going back to no booze for one more second because I am dying to ask you this. So how can you track it? I suppose, or what could they do? What could they
Check
do
in.
to meet the
What about a
requirements?
shared spreadsheet? Like where you have a
What
shared
kind of
spreadsheet.
requirements do you have?
Yeah.
Like, do
So
you have to post every day in the group, or you have to reply to an
yeah.
email? I like replying to an email, but maybe it's a text message then. It could all be done through text message. I think it would be even better if it was a text message, honestly.
Yes. And I think you got it. It's just a matter of what format you want to pump it through. But yeah, just have it something where they have to check in every single day. Either, like you said, reply yes or no if you were sober today, and send it at like 9 at night every night or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
Um,
either. That's the thing. So it's
those are
like,
some of the details you have to work out, but you have the idea.
I suppose.
That's the hard part. The idea is the hard part. The details are the easy part. But yeah, have them check in through email, text message, shared spreadsheet, something along those lines. Even a website where they can click a box and hit submit and make like a little comment,
I
whatever.
So actually, what you're telling me is everything that I make them do along the way, because I wanted it to be like this kind of this fun thing. You got this little
Yeah.
exercise for the day, and hopefully you did it, and it would be cool and whatever. I know I'm realistic that it's
Yeah.
hard to do that every day. But so you could have it where if they submitted whatever that day was, like maybe day
Yeah.
2 asks you to reply to the email. You know what I mean? Like reply to the email with whatever. On one day it's like, hey, pull up this document and add something. You know what I mean? So it's like you're getting
Yeah.
them to
What
do
about just making this online, and where you have to fill it out and submit it each day, and then at the bottom you even have to put like your digital signature that says that you're still sober, you did
to
the thing. You just have this whole thing,
yeah.
editable. It's almost like that's how that self authoring
Right.
program
I
is.
haven't even
Yeah,
started that.
it's the same thing, but it's I don't know if they check in on you or how they obviously save it and track it somehow just so that you completed it. But if you had a way on the back end to see who had 100% completion, or through some sort of graph or chart or some shit like that, like, there's got to be a way to do it somehow, some way.
Yeah. Somehow, some way. Well,
Hmm.
I love that. I think that's brilliant, man. That's a great, great call. Just have some stuff in there that they can click in and go. It's
Yep.
because right now it's basic. It's like if you click the link, which you have a hard copy, but if you click the link, it takes you to a doc, and then you have to scroll all the way down. It's not like you can
Yes.
like every day should take you right to that day.
Yes.
So the functionality is a little weak right now, but
No,
whatever.
no, that's just something to work towards. Yeah.
Yeah. So little things
It's
like that,
doable too. It's not tough.
totally
That's not a
doable.
tough. Yeah, that's not a tough ask at all. It's not something crazy back end internet shit. It's like Visual Basic 101, where you just have text input boxes, and check boxes and stuff like that you'd have to click on, and then like just to add your digital signature at the end or something like that. You can just have an empty text box there too, and then you have the ability to use PDF or Adobe or something, and then your signature is right in there. You just drop it down there. And if
Dude,
people
I'm
have
doing that tonight.
tough time, you could do YouTube videos and shit and show them, hey, if you have a tough time, figuring out how to use this tool, watch this YouTube video, and then you leave them a link to the YouTube video that shows where you show everybody how to use that shit.
Isn't that the best?
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous, isn't it?
So easy.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, the world we live in is insane.
Yeah.
That's why I love YouTube so much too, is that you can literally use it for everything. That's why I'm surprised that doesn't rule the world. It's close, but I'm surprised it doesn't rule the world even more.
Dude, my brain can't handle you without a beard. It's just like going nuts.
It's like my face is gone. It's like I got no chin.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it looks like I'm like a different person. I'd probably get if I got carded, they'd be like, "What the hell?"
You're like Joe Perone? Who is it?
Joe Perone. That's hysterical, dude. I used to hit in his batting cage in his basement.
No shit. That guy cracked me up, dude. He was so funny.
Perone and Mitch Cross, dude. They were both like stand-up comedians.
Oh, those guys.
They're like Jay and Silent Bob, bro.
Where is Mitch?
I don't know. I've seen some of the other Cross.
That guy. I didn't see him after a long time, but for a while, man, I just think he's fucking, man. That was.
He should have went into stand-up, dude. He was great.
Yeah, he was full on, man. 100%.
Remember he used to do the freaking Farley imitations and stuff, dude? It was epic.
Yeah. Where'd he go?
I don't know. There's so many people that I wonder what happened to him. They didn't show up in Facebook. I haven't been to any of the reunions, but just crazy shit cool, like that. What are?
I like the reunions, man.
I don't know, man.
It's kind of cool, like, especially now because of social media. So, like, you all know a little bit about each other, but you are still back in the game. I got out of there a long time ago. And, but when I see, like, Jenny Arminetti and fucking Jenny Ablanis and, Warren Ma and all those girls still hanging together and shit, man. And still, it kind of warms my heart. I love it.
It is cool. It's super cool.
Yeah, I like that. And I know
there's a ton of that shit still going on for sure.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. Even people that are across state lines.
Yeah, but still, like, there's a lot of baggage with all of those relationships too, man. We've all fucking kicked it hard. And,
crazy.
And it's
crazy stuff.
It's really cool.
Yeah, stuff that you could probably put somebody in jail for a long time.
Yeah, we were all breaking fucking laws.
Breaking the laws because we're drinking White Claws.
Yeah. Oh, eating JK.
So I was at that. I went to my buddy Marco Giannamelio's house for that Conor McGregor fight Saturday.
Oh.
And and the first thing I go, what do you got any food in here or what? So I open up his fridge. He's like, oh, I got a bunch of White Claws. I'm like, I'm not drinking that fucking shit, dude. Are you crazy? And he's like, oh, why not? Why not? And I'm like, I told you I'm done. And he's like, oh yeah.
You're done good.
He goes, because your pancreas? I go, no, my pancreas is fine. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But
awesome.
He starts pounding the White Claws. He started pounding the White Claws, and I'm like, yeah, go for it, brother. I'm all good.
What is it? It's what, seltzer water or something?
Yeah, just hard seltzer water, pretty much. Yeah, I've had them in the past, but I'm not a big seltzer water fan, except for this shit. Like, I got this sparkling ice that the girls drink. That's like
Jenny's
no calories.
Oh yeah.
Dude, this stuff is the bomb. This tastes like a tropical drink right here.
That is her. Hold on 1 second.
It tastes like it's spiked. Good Lord.
Right out of the pineapple itself.
Yeah. That's it.
Has been hooked on this right here.
What's she got now?
Is
that a mixer?
Sprouts or whatever.
It's
like a little lemon hydrate, whatever deal.
You take scoops of it though?
Electro drink mix, yeah. And I'm so happy that she drinks it. It's just at the grocery store we found it, but now she's pounding water. She used to like those things, But she's like, I'd rather just do this powder stuff. So I'm like, sweet. I've been trying to get that
do a
girl to
little
drink
bit of
water for years. And we
I
live in
do a
the
little bit of
desert.
everything. Yeah, no,
Jill,
there is no water.
there's
Body
no,
armor is another one.
I can't breathe.
Love I love the rain.
This guy's got the rain coming down.
Got the ice.
I'm a water. That's it. Bring me water all day long, or coffee.
Yeah, I drink water with every meal. At the gym, I drink a shit ton of coffee in the morning. But yeah, at night I'll drink some of this peach mango body armor and maybe some of this coconut pineapple because it tastes like I'm drinking pina coladas on the beach, even though it's 9 below here.
Do you do protein powder every day?
No, but I have Jocko's. I have that Mulk.
What the fuck's milk, bruh?
That's Jocko's powder. He's got a cool powder that's really, really good. It like mixes really well. It doesn't get all, you know how like a lot of powders will get like lumpy
Yeah.
when you're drinking and it feels like, you know, you're swallowing them like spider bodies. Yeah, it's like chunky. You're like, oh,
Rubber
how's that?
spider bodies.
Yeah, like there's dog food.
Dude, that's the
floating in there.
worst. I gotta go vanilla, or I actually will do it. No flavor is the one I like.
There's
And then
a no flavor.
Yeah, it's that organic shit. But you know what I mean? And you don't know if it's like I think it's even a Costco brand maybe. It's no flavor,
Nice.
which is nice because it takes a lot of the sugars out of it. But
Yeah, that the Jocko one's pretty good. I like it, but I've tasted so many of them, man. They all taste
I know.
fairly similar, bro.
No, I feel you, bruh.
Bruh.
Dude. So that's what I try to do this January with the consistency. I said,
So what's your top 10?
Well, my thought was planning. January is planning for the year, right?
Okay. I said the same thing in the podcast. I was saying now's the time. Put shit on your calendar.
Okay, so you know what we do need to talk about?
Mm-hmm.
The adventure.
Okay.
I don't know.
What you thinking?
Well, remember that email I sent you from that? I went through that program, Eric Davis, that SEAL dude.
Yes. Yes.
So that's like the schedule he was talking about, where you put little excursions once a month for you, like little like skirmishes, and then every quarter you got to go on these like adventures, right?
Gotcha.
And so I'd like to put an adventure out there now every quarter. That's tough, but if we decide let's start this year with at least one good one like we've been trying to plan,
yes,
then let's do that, and let's make it at the appropriate time that we think will have the best chances of success.
I think we can be successful no matter what, unless we're going to like Antarctica in the winter.
Well, I hear it's lovely up there in the winter. So.
Even if we got permission, we'd probably be okay. But I'm telling you, I already got my first quarter one then because I already got one. I'm going with my buddy Alan to Lewis Smith Lake. It's in Alabama, and they do an owners tournament for like Bass Cat boats. And he has a Bass Cat, and there's like 300 people that show up for this thing. They have all these kick-ass prizes. They have all this kick-ass prize money. And you just go out there and try to catch the fire out of them and see what you can weigh in. And we're going to drive out there. I'm going to roll with him. We stay out there for like 4 days. We get a little shack at like the budget 6 or some shit where we can plug in the boat really close to the door. And we just have fun. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. It's in the middle of March.
What are you trying to catch?
Oh, bass. It's all bass.
All basses.
Yeah, bass is all you can weigh. They have a trash fish, I think, there too, though. Like anything that's not bass, you can keep. And we call it trash fish, and you just weigh, your trash fish in, and you get like biggest trash fish gets a prize too. It's all categories.
Throw them in the street afterwards.
No, they have these gigantic boats, like these pontoons with these huge pools in them, and they throw the fish in these pontoons. Yeah, and then they hit this. Yeah, and then they hit this like release, and it just dumps them all into the lake.
Holy shit!
But they drive them way offshore, so they're not all just on shore there.
Yeah, they take them to the farm.
They take them over to the alligator side. But that's my first adventure, so that's in March, and that's first quarter. So second quarter would be April, May, June. So let's try to do something in that range. That's my theory.
April, May, June, or is that what you said? April, May, June.
Yeah, April, May, or June. June. And then by the, if we do something in April and we stay south, kind of by you, booyah. If we do something in June anywhere, we'll be pretty much good to go.
I say June 23rd.
Yeah, we could go late June and go wherever.
Well, that's my anniversary too. So I could be like, babe, let's hit this. Are we all? What are we doing? All four of us going somewhere? What are you thinking?
I don't know. Like you were saying,
like that? This is supposed to be with people, like with your tribe, man. You're supposed to be like bonding and stuff. Like, we might have to go rafting or something. Like, we might have to risk getting hurt or together, or you know what I mean? Develop the bonds. The brotherhood. You gotta believe.
Superpowers. Trip with Joel.
Oh no, Mean Gene.
Let me tell you something. You know what's funny is, have you ever seen the video on? It's all over social media and shit, where it's Hulk Hogan and Macho Man.
Oh yeah.
And it's like in the title of the video is the first time you take mushrooms with your best friend. Have you seen this?
It's the best. So
have you seen it?
Play some of it.
I'll just play a minute.
And hear it. If I can see it and hear it, if you share it, dude, yes, that is so funny. Pull it up, because if anybody ever sees this show, they'll enjoy it, because we just gave context. I gotta find my shits, bro. Dude, I ruined that.
Are you ready for this?
Is it awesome?
You're ready for this.
I saw what the madness was all about. I realized there was a whole other universe out there, a whole other frontier, and the power of the madness in the mania just blew my 24-inch guns out. You mean to tell me there is another solar system, Macho Man? We believe one still in a state of shock right now. Long period of time. Yeah, I'm just worried about where we're going from here. Into the stratosphere, man. Into the ionosphere, with the madness and the mania as one guiding force. We could go ahead and take the whole I cannot believe
So they go in the back and laugh their faces off.
So
They're
good.
Like, dude, that was ridiculous. He's like, "Hey, you need a coffee?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll be right
there." Yeah, I'm telling you, man. It's too on point. That's why it's so perfect.
Oh, when Macho Man goes in and he starts talking, you can barely hear him. He's like,
yeah, he's like revs it up like an engine.
You can't even hear him yet. You're like, wait, what the hell?
Those guys are legendary. That's why it's so good. But yeah, so we got to figure something out. So how about this? Let me brainstorm on this idea. We have the time frame kind of figured out, and then you brainstorm as well, get some ideas, and let's come back to the table with some ideas on, like you said, what we could do.
Yeah, I mean, I'll throw out, like, it definitely needs to be physical. I think you guys are all on board for that, whatever that means.
Yeah.
And I'd like it to try to be somewhere, maybe even centrally located, so nobody has to move too far.
Sure.
But whatever.
It could be time of year too. Like I said, if we do it earlier, it just might be easier if we head down that way. If it's and if it's in late June, like I said, we could go fucking anywhere.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Well, let me know what you're thinking.
So you said something physical, has a physical aspect?
Well, hold on. I mean, let me ask you, if you're up for this, or are you thinking like you and I personally, where was your head at with that? Because I maybe threw you a curveball there.
I was open for anything, honestly. I didn't know, what it would take. Whatever it takes to get it rolling. If it's easier to just do it, me and you, that's what we're gonna do. If it's a thing where the wives want to be involved and that's an easier sell, then that's what we're gonna do. If if it's something where the wives are like, fuck no, we're not doing that, then it's going to be me and you. If the wives are like, yeah, that sounds awesome, and let's definitely do that, then let's get as many people as possible.
Yeah, dude, I dig it. All right.
I didn't really have any expectations. You know how I am. This is my New Year's resolution. Go into 2020 with little or no expectations so that you can just enjoy the moment instead of being disappointed or your expectations having been met. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's go in with no expectations. So however we get it to work works for me. And as long as we get it to work, that's all. We could even if it was just something as simple as go freaking climb some mountain or go hit some trail for a day, down by you, or go meet up, like you said, in some random location because of some cave system or something like we were talking about before, or we go meet somewhere in the Northwest, somewhere where it's not close to either of us really, and we go into the forest over that way or something. I don't know, man. I'll think of some ideas and bring some shit to the table. But me and Rach have that Southwest Airlines thing where we can pretty much fly wherever, right? Like even if we went back to Glacier, like have you ever been to Glacier?
No, I don't think so. Maybe when I was a kid, but not as an adult.
Yeah, or something like that. Even if we go to a national park and meet up at a national park or outside somewhere in one of the towns and then go in, or if we go, in I don't know. There's tons of different ideas that we could go check out. Even if we went to some like coastal town somewhere and just went somewhere totally random, I don't know.
Oh, I think I like what you're saying. Plus, Aaron, it's got me thinking about Aaron Moore because he's got a really nice place in Bozeman, and he's like an hour outside the gates of fucking Jellystone.
I know exactly where that is. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he's like, dude, he's in there all the time. And what if we did something like that? Because he's really solid dude, and he's all into that, and that could be a really fun, healthy, cool trip, and introduce you guys too, which would be awesome.
Put it on the list, man.
Yeah, dude, that's kind of cool. We were thinking spring skiing out there, to be honest with you. That's what him and I have been talking about, because it stays cool.
I got my Never Summer, man. I don't ski, but I snowboard.
Yeah, Jenny snowboards. I have a snowboard. I do both.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, this is interesting. All right, let me talk to her, dude.
But yeah, put some other ideas down on there too, so you're not just all eggs in one basket. Because if that thing doesn't work, then it'll just delay the process. Just have a couple of options,
Agreed.
I'm gonna probably have 10.
I keep thinking, how to parlay something like that, like a summer trip even into Nebraska. So I'm trying to think outside the box, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. That's why my whole podcast was about putting shit on the calendar. Have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
It was all about, like you said, the adventures. If you put stuff on the calendar, here's what happens. Like, if you put something like you said, spring skiing, I'm not going to go into spring skiing or snowboarding in somewhere in Montana or in Wyoming or wherever we're going to go, Colorado, wherever around there, without having put in some freaking work. Because I understand the work that needs to be done to properly snowboard some of the crazy shit that I want to do.
Good point. You don't just show up and be like, oh my God, I haven't even worked out in 6 months.
Yeah, you're gonna die. And and so you put in some work before you go and do this trip, right? If you're gonna go to like I said, to some national park, or you're gonna do something like that, you're gonna look it up. You're gonna go online, you're gonna see the maps, you're gonna see the trails, you're gonna see the pictures, you're gonna see what's around there, where to stay, all that shit. All of that stuff is super important because you're doing things that you normally wouldn't do on a day-to-day basis. Just because you put something on the calendar, normally you'd probably eat dinner, watch some TV, maybe work out or talk to your friends or do something, with maybe a hobby for an hour. Then you would, get ready for bed or something like that. And you would repeat that, for like 7 days a week for like years on end. And time just starts going way too fast. But that one time, that's why everybody lives for that one vacation too. It's because not only is that like their one vacation, but then they plan for it the entire year. They live pretty much for that one thing. Or, some people have like a handful of them, and holidays are a lot of them. That's why holidays exist, I think.
Yeah. And you know what? I think that the no booze thing, I think a lot of times I was boozing at a lot of holidays,
Mm-hmm.
And
that's all you did at holidays.
That's all you did at holidays. And then somehow you can become jaded, I think, a little bit by it, because I don't think we understand. I don't think we understand like Thanksgiving is maybe, you know, my mom's actually coming in a couple of days, but I see her like twice a year if I really think
Right.
about it, you know, unless some
Right.
shit's
Right.
going out. So to be able to go into that, full into that, and like, you know, like be completely present and be doing, like living into it, you know? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Without being shit faced. Yeah, it's way
Yeah,
better.
without being shit faced, but like, yeah, like being part of it and having a role in the thing, right? Having a role in the play,
Yeah.
whatever that is, you know. I don't know.
Instead of
Anyway,
being part of the audience and just sitting back and
yeah,
boozing it up.
boozing it up or whatever.
It's so true though, dude. It is. It really, really is. Because then, I mean, like even when you go home, you can plan something for the next day without having to worry about you not being able to fulfill those plans because you were hungover, or you slept in, or you don't feel like it because now your energy is to shit because you know you're going through sugar dump and detox, and there's just so much shit. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. And when you don't have to worry about any of that stuff, you sleep better just because you don't have booze also. But there's just so much shit that, like, it's dominoes, man. There's so many dominoes that fall when you choose to, just cut loose and have, a shit ton of drinks and some shots or something like that. Yeah, it's fucking
Dude,
great. It's a lot
but
of fun. But dude, the dominoes start falling.
yeah, I think it's because as soon as you know you actually did what you said you're going to do and you followed through and you did it, you're like, maybe I can do more.
Oh,
Maybe
for
there's
sure.
something else I can do. Maybe I can start running. If I did that, you know, I think a lot of us feel that way. And then you actually complete it. You actually do it. There's some pride there, and then the dominoes can fall. And that's really what
Yeah.
it's about. It's like, personally, fuck the alcohol. Yeah, it's not a great addition to your life, but it's more about having a win on something that's kind of difficult for people. It's
Hmm.
uncomfortable, if anything. Maybe
Yep.
they don't call it difficult. Maybe they say it's uncomfortable some days when I realize that, you know, I want to drink. But anyway, I guess all I'm saying is that it's more about having that. It's building that little confidence blip and using alcohol as
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Putting
thing.
your inner bitch in check.
Yeah.
Yeah, the more you can do that, that's the trigger. Like you said, if you do something and you put that inner bitch in check while you're working out, that's when you open the door of like, oh, maybe I can run a 5K.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, because before, your inner bitch would be like, no, you're not. We don't run.
Yeah.
But you already put it in its place a couple times, and now you could tell it, no, 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 we're gonna do this.
I like
And
this.
you've already proven to yourself a couple times that you can put your inner bitch in check. That's all you need to do, and then that'll snowball for sure.
Yeah. I like that. Dude, I like that. And I want to have more, I want to have it where you can write in there, like, that's coming quickly. But maybe I wait till, I'd have to put a
Yeah,
date on that.
version 3.0 or 4.0 or some shit, man. You don't
Just
have to
think
do it
about how
tomorrow.
fast, you know, or how long that takes. But anyhow,
But it's
all
gonna
right.
take some time. If you want to do it right, it'll take some time.
Take your time.
Yeah, take your time, for Christ's sake, man.
You making any
Conor
music?
McGregor. Huh?
Are you making any music these days?
I'm still working on the piano. I was actually just playing before our call real quick here, and I'm loving the piano though. It's crazy. Like, I didn't even realize, like, playing the piano is one of those things that if you catch on really quick and you kind of get what's going on really quick, um, the escape velocity is comes really fast. But I
Wow.
could see, like, if you were struggling playing the piano,
Yeah.
I could. That's how I see why people quit. You know what I
Can,
mean? I
can you
had
play?
some
Oh,
easy wins. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had some easy doing scale. Like, and and like, I used to do this thing with my fingers. Like, when I would be stressed out or I'd be sitting in a line, I would do this thing where I can, like, yeah, you see,
yeah,
you could
that's
do it too,
awesome. Yeah.
right? So, like, in order, and you
Bruce Lee.
can push them back and forth, but it's complete articulation, and it's like individual control of each one of your fingers. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when I put my fingers on a piano, it's the same thing, but I'm just doing it flat handed instead of, together like this. And when I realized what was going on is I was like training myself to play with two hands by just doing this. You know what I mean? It was weird.
Wow.
So
because you
So, yeah.
realize moving them, you want to move them together, you move them together.
yeah,
That's
and,
really
and each finger and each hand has to independently work and be coordinated in order for me to, make it look like, it's like
This is hilarious.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But you don't realize that, like, those little exercises, those little things, you have to tune into that shit in order to, like, kind of pick up on, signals and things that the universe is telling you to do or to try. So like I said, so I'm having fun playing the piano. I'm learning all these things about, like, music in general too, like how there's like 500 million songs written in um, three chords. So you could play like God knows how many songs in just three chords. And if you learn the piano the legit way, where you can see like A to F on the piano, you have two key markers like middle C and A, and then it just repeats over and over both sides each way. So if you learn, like C major chords are all the same position with your fingers too, like your thumb, your middle finger, and your pinky, right? So if you just play this on A, you're playing it's actually an A minor and an A major, because that's just a weird chord, but you can move it up and play like C, D, F. You could just keep moving your hand in the same position all the way up through the notes A to F and play that major chord. So it's like super basic. And then so if you got like a tablature piece or something like that, offline of a song, and you just see what the chord progressions are, you can play any song. I mean, like that.
makes
But
it
then
sound easy.
it is, but then you can add intricacies and like difficulties and like level yourself up by adding in even more stuff, because inside of those scales you can add like minors, you can add flats, you can add intervals, and do all these different things with your hands in order to spice things up. But as long as you stay within this like bracket of keys on the keyboard, you pretty much can't, or on the piano, you can't fuck it up. It's really, really cool. And then,
can you play right now?
well, I would, but actually the wife and the kid are sleeping, and I would have to put it on my headphones, but then you wouldn't hear anything.
He's like, I
'Cause
forget what time it is. I'm just living in my own head.
Yeah, it's like almost midnight here. But yeah, so I have those studio headphones that I can plug into the back, because it's all electronic. It's not a real piano, but it plays like a real piano. So that's why I got that one, though, was because I could play it at night. I just put those bad boys on and you can't hear shit. It's like noise canceling.
Yeah.
And like I didn't realize that there's a pedal on a piano. So if you hit this pedal, it's a sustain pedal pretty much. And if you hold that bad boy down while you're playing and you just lift your foot while you switch your hands, it sounds like you're playing like this epic fucking tune that has like all this like volume and like fill and like space, and you're just like, dude, I'm
Just
playing
ringing.
like three, like I said, like three chords in a progression, and then I'll just play the major key with my left hand. So like if I'm playing an A with this hand, I just hit the single A, one full step to my left, or to my left, so it's like ding 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 ding, or dun dun dun, and it sounds fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And it just has this like nonstop reverb sound, like you're playing in the freaking Church of Latter-day Saints and Jesus Christ. And it sounds so epic. Sometimes I'll just sit there and I'll just hit stuff, and I'm just like mind blown by how good it sounds with that fucking pedal. I was just like, holy cow, this pedal's awesome. So key.
It is really key.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy time with it, right?
Oh yeah, you can make mistakes and it'll cover your ass. It's the best.
It's fun. Yeah, just pump the brakes a little bit on it, give it a little.
I hit that pedal all the time, man. I love that thing.
I've been actually interested in playing.
Someone's breaking in.
I know some of this shit slamming.
I've been watching a lot of serial killer dramas, man. I think it was a ghost, bro.
Well, I gotta wrap it up.
Yeah, do your thing, bro. This is good though. It's already 11:30, but let's do this again, and we'll come up with ideas, like I said, or like you said, and then let's work on our consistency thing too, and then we'll just keep talking like this when we get back at it next week.
I like that.
I got my notes this time for sure.
Me too. Are you posting this thing? What are we doing? How are we doing that?
Yeah, I have it recorded. I'm gonna mess around with that last one too. I never grabbed that one, so let me mess around with that one too.
All right.
I'll have some time over the next. This is only Monday, so I'll have all week that I can mess around with it. Really, I'll send you some links when I have it all set up. If you want anything or want to change anything or anything like that, let me know too. I'll mess with it. I got Final Cut Pro here, and Rachel's a pro at that, so I can use that to edit stuff or to add effects or do whatever, music, intro, outro, all that shit.
Okay. I dig it. So we're going on the 27th next week, huh?
The 27th of January.
I got a lot cooking, man. We could have talked about fucking ton of shit, but
it's all right.
We'll wait.
Yeah, it's no big deal. Just keep those notes and keep busting out topics like that, and then we'll keep hammering it out, man.
No, I dig it. That's what I'm doing. I'm just writing down the next few shows and keeping this notebook here. All right, brother.
Go do your thing. No worries. Until next time, brother. Have a great week.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate you too.
All right. Chat with you in a little bit.